Now we meet architect Theo Bothma of Theo Bothma Architects and Design as he takes us through the renovation of a 1980s home in Johannesburg.
Just to start off with the project, this is an alteration, firstly. And the client came and said, look, we've been staying here for 20 or 30 years. It's time to do a renovation. And they invited us in to actually come and design something new for them from scratch, basically. So the brief from the client was, take this house, open it up, make it an entertainment's dream. And that was basically the brief. And I think that's what was pulled through here. A big challenge for me on this house was the northern light. And also this house is situated close to a big road. So it's also a case of like making sure that even though we're opening up, making sure that we block off a lot of the noise. I think one of the biggest problems about this house was actually the front door. Originally, there was not much of an announcement. And I think especially with modern houses, open houses, like your front door is your announcement. We're standing under the porte cochere. It's one of the features that I've designed in the house to make sure that when you get to the front door, you're undercover, you don't get your hair wet. One of our first things is the front door. So you can see the design. This is actually repeated in all the doors in the house. And this is one of our bespoke features in all of our houses. Every house gets their own front door design. Basically, on the plan was to make a double story. Because it was a single story before, and create a space where that's all around. It focuses on the pool and entertainment around the pool. So I was really just creating and taking a very like 80s relic and modernizing it and opening up so it actually like creates courtyards around the pool and around the garden spaces. Yeah. Part of the brief, the client actually gave us a tile she wanted. It was literally a diesel Galactica was the range. If you actually look at it, it's got a bit of like a Milky Way flow and a bit of a bling, but it's actually really subtle, but it's a very striking tile. Coming through, you can see we've actually taken that and we've actually gone through and we picked up the browns, the natural tones that was in there and used it on the marble on the wall. This is quite a cool feature because it's actually backlit marble. There's LEDs behind there, and just to break it, we actually went and we used the walnut in between with lighting details in between to actually break. Otherwise, it was going to be too cold of a project. And then just small details in the house is like this brass edging detail here that's super, super important. So from there, what we did is we used that as our base, and everything we chose was to be subtle against that. So textures against the very high gloss tiles. From a color scheme perspective, we went for a very monotone, very earthy tone type of palette. So what I generally like to do in our projects is to keep the house general monotone colors, so you can accessorize with your furniture later. The actual finishes is fixed to the house and very warm. Currently in this house, we use London grey. Then walking in, the kitchen itself is our biggest feature. As you can see, this is about a 5-meter kitchen, which is completely oversized, but it's amazing. Just to have people sit here, you making food, you've got the teppanyaki plate there, you've got your gas stove there, it's just got all your options there, and then you can just entertain. And then from there, if you look behind me, we've got this amazing living room here and a more of a formal dining room there, and the fireplace that actually separates them. I've spoken a lot about the hard finishes, the wall finishes, the floors. We've actually also from there, to break the house and actually give it that luxurious feel, we've used a lot of leather on the project and also bringing those very earthy tones through. You can even see on the furniture itself, this is leather inlays with the brass details here. And then a lot of marble coming through. So it's just very current, very warm. And then what we've used, especially because there's so much tiles in the house and because it's such a feature tile, just to warm up the space sitting in the TV room on this side, we've done a rug that actually makes it an amazing space to sit in. Walking from here, we go into the formal lounge. And this is why we have the fireplace here to actually divide the two spaces. So if you have people over, there's at least 2 spaces you can sit. But even this, you can see we've brought in the metallics coming through, the marbles coming through, and then the leathers here with a rug coming through. But yeah, just overall, actually luxury. And then also one of our options was these occasional chairs. You can see also bringing in the suede leather coming through with the texture, and then using exactly the same type of theme with the bronzy metallics coming through there. But yeah, I think overall, in terms of the house, the theme is bringing in very much your warm tones, warm materials, bringing in leather for luxury, and then having your metallics coming through, your bronze metallics that actually creates this warm and luxurious feel. So we're in the entertainment space now. The entertainment space is big enough to have a lounge area, a dining area, and actually a braai area. On this side, the client wasn't really big into creating a wood fireplace, so the brief was to have a gas fireplace there. But starting off here, we've got more outdoor furniture, and then just bringing in some luxury, just a chaise lounge where you can sit and just lie between the two spaces. Then we've got this oversized dining room set next to the fireplace area, and then living out all out into the pool area. So that's our patio area, and that actually then goes out onto the pool area. The pool also, just if we go back to the architecture, was much smaller. We actually made it a much bigger pool. We added the jacuzzi area that's there, but around that we've actually then placed the bar area, and we've placed the entertainment area, and they all live around the space. And even we've created some gazebo spaces in between, just so you can sit outside, you can lounge, have a tan, just enjoy yourself. So I think just starting off with even thinking about renovating a house is actually to engage with a professional, an architect, a designer, but also have a look at what they've done before. I think our biggest thing is we've got quite a big portfolio of alterations. There's some magic that happens, and not everybody can do that. So it was quite an interesting process in the sense that there was so much detail, as you can see it through the house, starting with the architecture, working through to the interior design, ceilings, wall paneling, flooring, all the way down to the furniture. I really love how everything came out, especially the fact that we got some chance to just like experiment, especially with the type of marbles, the lighting. We just had freedom to try new things, and the client was very much like, look, Theo, this is what I want. Okay, cool. What do you want? Okay, cool. Let's try it. Yeah, they were definitely very happy. And it's also, the nice thing is it becomes a showpiece, especially I think when people don't realize it when they build. That 2 or 3 years that you're building, that eventually it's done and people can come over and you can live in your house. I think that was one of the first things the client said when she moved in. She's like, Theo, I just love the space. There's just so much light. It just feels open. I just feel comfortable in my own house.